Hi everyone and welcome to the comparison between the Hot Toys Man of Steel Superman and the newly released Batman vs Superman figure. They're both really nice looking pieces. Let's get into it. We'll start with the boxes. Here you've got your Man of Steel Hot Toys box and the newly released Batman vs Superman box. Now, this has textures. You can feel the S. You can feel the texture on the S. Let me just see all that. You can feel it. It's smooth here and raised here. And the shield itself is raised. That's raised. This is raised. And that feels raised as well. Yep. So a lot of attention to detail there. It's the side, the image carries on. And the info on the back. I really do like the Man of Steel Superman box. The Jor-El box was cool as well. And Zod, obviously, but I've never actually seen... Well, I've seen Zod in person in Forbidden Planet, but I haven't actually... I should have bought Forbidden Planet. Wow, that would be cool if I could do that. No, I mean, I wish I had have bought Zod. I saw him for £100 straight up in Forbidden Planet. I thought, well, that's a good price, considering Forbidden Planet usually charge a hell of a lot more for their figures. You've got your fold-out cover. Again, this is all textures, like his suit. This is all raised. And yeah, he just sits in there and you've got your cast and your crew. Whereas with this one, it's just, this isn't raised. It's really cheap, to be honest. It feels cheap. Compared to this, anyway. It certainly feels cheap. This has a fair bit of weight to it, even though there's no figures, no figure or accessories in there. And this one is light as a feather. It's empty, but it really is a shoebox. I mean, look at that. It looks like there's going to be some Superman trainers in there. Whereas this feels like you're getting a collectible. Gorgeous box. Love the Man of Steel box. Again, thanks Curtis, you're the man. So they are two slightly different outfits. In between the events of Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, it seems Kal-El decided that he hadn't realized the full potential of his outfit, so he decided to go off and add some blue trim and some other bits. He should have been more concerned about the fact that Metropolis was leveled. Many people died. He snapped Zod's neck. But nope, he was thinking of fashion. So he decided to upgrade his outfit. It does look really cool, though, I have to admit. I do like the upgrades, and what we got was much improved. This Hot Toys outfit, I am shining the torch right in his face, so bear that in mind. It always makes things look a little bit different to how they actually look in person. I will film some sections of this without the light shining in their face, just so you can see a more natural look at them. But when you do have the torch on your camera, especially on the Batman vs Superman one, you really get that movie accurate kind of I don't know how to describe it, you know, the shine. It really highlights his abs and the muscles and all that good stuff. So yeah, the new outfit really does impress. As far as body mass, that has changed quite considerably. You've got the new body. I guess this is maybe a new body completely from scratch by Hot Toys just for Superman. He is a little bit shorter, or quite a bit shorter, I guess. There they are, they're both level on their stands. There is a fair bit in it. Man of Steel is a taller figure. But the body on the new one just seems really accurate to me, especially the scene, I mentioned it in the Cape video before this, when he walks into the courthouse and you just see that shot of him walking in slowly and everyone's kind of paying attention to him. This just looks very accurate to that to me. I love the way the S, they've captured that kind of metallic shine on it. It's really cool. Now, one thing is, there's a bit more give on this outfit. You can kind of pull the sleeves back. They don't really come out of here, but you can work with it. And you could get one arm in front of him if he was lying down flat in his flying pose. You could have both arms kind of outstretched in front of him, Christopher Reeve style. With this one, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. It might be. I will try that after I film this. We'll see how the arms can move. That's part of the comparison after all. But yeah, body mass on this is bigger. The legs are thicker. I like the difference in the boots. Got those nice kind of dark highlights. Really cool. Whereas these, they still had the texture on there, but it was more subtle. So I do like that change. Kind of like the original gauntlets, even though I think, can't remember what was the truth in the end, whether these were meant to be blue or black, but either way, kind of like the way they look. And the S, slightly different shape, I guess you'd say. This one, just a bit sharper. Really nice. This one, I guess, not as wide. But yeah, I like them both. But I definitely prefer the way the S looks on the new suit. Now, I'll probably film this in two little sections. One, like I'm doing now, without the torch shining in his face, and one briefly with the torch shining in his face so you can really see the detail in the eyes. But let's see what the likeness is up to. Which one has the stronger likeness to Henry Cavill? Well, I mean, me personally, I've only just got this figure today, so I think it's a bit early to call it, to be honest. I'm just going to show you guys what they look like together, and you can see for yourself. There's a pretty big difference in the head size. I did paint the hair on my Man of Steel figure more black, because I was never really happy with how black his hair was originally. It was kind of a grey black, charcoal kind of colour. I could really see in the sunlight that it just wasn't as black as it appears in the movie. I did say in the unboxing that I was planning on painting his hair black, but as far as painting the hair black now, I'm not going to rush into it, to be honest. I probably will do it. It's one of those things I tend to do like months or a year after getting the figure. I'll just finally one day think, right, today I'm doing that little customization, I'll do it. Let me get them in really close together. Let me just put, because he's taller, I'll put him at the back and the new guy at the front. I'll zoom in. What do you think? I think they've both got their strengths and their weaknesses. Not sure exactly what the weaknesses are, but I think there are pros and cons to both. I think the people that prefer this, you can't really blame them, and for the new one, you can't really blame those folks for liking this one more. So they're both great figures. It all just depends which one you're digging more. Maybe you hate the Batman vs Superman film and that will affect the way you look at this, or maybe you didn't like Man of Steel but you did like Batman vs Superman. Alright, so we got the torch on the camera and we're really going to zoom in now and have a look at the face. It's a really good head sculpt. And so that is the Man of Steel release by Hot Toys, and the hair has been repainted by me with acrylic black paint. And then over here you've got your Henry Cavill updated head sculpt, Batman vs Superman. It's not 100% him, is it? I mean, look at that. It's a great head sculpt, but it's not dead on him. Absolutely not. There are other faces in there. I'm seeing, I don't know the name of the actor, I'm afraid, but he was in the original Fantastic Four film. Well, not the original, but the one from, like 10 years ago with Chris Evans and stuff. But he was the guy who could stretch. I'm seeing him more than Henry Cavill right now. But then again, I am shining the light right in his face, and that isn't really the way you're supposed to see these things. And the angle will change that as well. I think it's looking more like Cavill when I come around, kind of askew. Come around from the side. I'm seeing the lightness then. About from above, looking down on him. Yeah. Come underneath. See what's going on. Yep. Well, you know what? I wasn't sure if you'd be able to do it, but it turns out the new Batman vs Superman suit doesn't hinder the articulation like I thought it would. It does feel tighter on the body, but you can still work it and get his arm up there for the flying pose. Obviously, if he was lying down flat on the, dynamic stand or something, you can get him to look like he's flying. But just to let you see with that arm, obviously the other arm will do the same thing, and you can get him in a flying pose. And it will obviously help if you turn his chest upwards and then raise the head, and all of those things combined. Once he's flat, obviously you have to work the head, get the neck, move it. I'm not going to do that one-handed, I don't want to cause any damage, but I will tell you now, it looks like this guy can fly. That's good. That's very good for photography. Showcase video should be fun. Now, I'll just have to mention, the first review that I saw go up of this figure, the chap mentioned that the head wouldn't turn down. It wouldn't go up very much and it wouldn't look down. But it does, as you can see. Just take it easy with the figures, be gentle. You can usually pull off some pretty cool head movements. But yeah, they're both checking out their muscles. Just seeing what the legs are capable of on the new one. The suit is stopping those legs from spreading on the Batman vs Superman. They're pretty damn good on the Man of Steel. But this guy has some wicked ankle pivot action, like ratchet joint pivots, where you can, obviously, if I wasn't able to do that, then the foot would be awkwardly kind of, you know, like that. But if listen, some really nice joints in there. I noticed as well earlier that he does stand up on his own pretty damn good too. So may not be able to spread those legs too far, but the pivot action in the ankles is pretty sweet. They both look pretty nice. Still just trying to show what these legs can do. The Man of Steel takes this one. The posability on him is definitely better. And don't forget, he's wearing the Tony made cape. Batman vs Superman has stock cape. And I did just film a video previous to this one, just specifically about these two capes, so check that out. But yeah, the posability on the Man of Steel is slightly superior, but there is a surprising amount of head movement in this new one. I was able to get him to look right up here, so that's really sweet. It's just that leg articulation isn't quite as dynamic as the old one. So here they both are with their bases. The Man of Steel base is a fair bit bigger than this newer base from Batman vs Superman. And let me forgot to raise this up, but it's nice that you have the option to display it up or down. You just grab it basically and be gentle, lift it on up, and you got yourself a really sweet display. Now, again, the Man of Steel, I think, takes it as far as posability in the legs again, because you can kind of push these together more. With this guy, I'm trying to get them to, you know, but they just kind of won't, I guess, because of the size. You can work with it. One thing again, with these awesome ankles, you can really point his feet down this time to really kind of show that he's hovering. Whereas with this one, whenever I try to point the feet more down, they just come back up again. There isn't really any hold there. They do move, but I could never get his feet to stay pointed down like he's hovering. Whereas this one will do that. Yeah, but again, coming back to the lightness, again, I'm seeing that guy from Fantastic Four, the guy who could stretch, rather than Henry Cavill, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, to be honest. I keep looking at him and you should be able to see the character, the dude it's based on. We've got this guy looking up. Point that head down, nice and low, maybe not that low. Anyway, but yeah, maybe if we point them up a little bit. Yeah, both great pieces. Curious to know what you guys think. Now, as far as extras go, Batman vs Superman came with the kryptonite, and this is the exclusive version. The regular version does not have the kryptonite. Now, the light is not switched on inside, but even though the light isn't on, and I will tell you now, I actually prefer the way this looks when the light is off, because as you're turning it, you can see just how that changes. It's absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, I'll turn it on. Where's the switch? There it is somewhere. Let me just look. There we go. So now it's turned on. It's a bit much, I think. And then put it over here instead. Yeah, it is nice. It really does light up bright though. I prefer the way it looks when the light's off. I think that looks more the way it did in the movie. But yeah, it's a nice little accessory. I guess this one could have come with the spear, the kryptonite spear. Maybe everyone says how they would have preferred to have another head as well with the glowing eyes from either when he's shooting lasers or when he's getting really angry at Lex about the mother situation. You know, the where is she? That bit. Um, yeah, it definitely should have come with that other head sculpt. And the thing I noticed in all the fight between him and Batman and the fight between him and Doomsday and everyone else there at the end, his hair gets a bit messed up. He's got the kind of Superman curly bit dangling down, and his hair is usually looking very wet. So this head sculpt, and if not the red eyes or the glowing eyes, whatever you want to call it, then at least a more battered, you know, Superman head sculpt with the hair a bit messed up, with the curl coming down, a more wet look applied to it, some more sweat and grime on his face. It's very clean considering we're meant to be posing this thing, him fighting the armored Batman, and he's going to look very clean doing it, but that's just a nitpick, I guess. But two head sculpts obviously would have been ideal for this guy. And Man of Steel Superman also came with one head, and as far as I can remember, just the spare hands and the cool base, but no option for a regular style Hot Toys base like this kind of one here. They really should include the regular base, because fitting two of these in a DTOF, I don't have DTOF cabinets myself, but I've seen and heard that it is a bit of a pain. Whereas two of these, you just see the size difference. You get away with two of them quite happily. Yeah, I do like these bases, they are nice. I'm sure some folks out there are wondering whether you can swap the heads. I did try to pull off the new head sculpt, and when I tried to pull it off, it took some doing, but it left the big, thick double peg in the neck just sticking out, and it seemed so solid and stiff. I didn't want to really mess with it because I ain't breaking this figure, just to show you guys what it looks like when you swap these heads around. I'm sure you'll probably be able to do it, but because of the size difference between these two, that head might look a bit funny on this one, and that head being as small as it is would probably look very silly on this one. This one, you might be able to get away with it on him, but this one on this body might look a bit funny. But I got to be honest with you, not going there. I'll leave that to someone else. But yeah, I think they could be swapped around. If you were really up for doing that, you could probably get away with it. So I'll just give you an all-over close-up look at both of the suits. This is your Man of Steel suit. Get a look at the details. See how it's holding up against the new one. Just not as defined in the muscle department, and I'm thinking of the scene in Man of Steel when he has his first fight with Feora and the big armored dude before Zod turns up, and they're in the sort of country town, Smallville, sorry, and he's telling everyone, get inside, it's not safe, and he's walking down the street, and the outfit looks very much like this, that kind of shine. You can see the definition, and this is the way it appears in that film as well. So as nice as this figure is, this one, even though it's a different suit from a different film, it's closer still to how he looked in Man of Steel, whereas this doesn't really have that, and a lot of people have had to do custom work to make it look more like the movie accurate suit. Thinking of Too Many Figures and people like that did some awesome work. I think Too Many Figures did a crazy battle damage one as well, by the way, and Carlos has some stuff to check out. So yeah, really, really, really improved the suit. As you saw, the articulation isn't hindered. It can do the same stuff as this one, upper body wise. Even though the suit feels tighter to the body and feels like you can do less, you can actually do the same stuff as this guy can. So fantastic work. And we'll get a close-up on the new one. Really, really sick detail. Very precise, very well done. Loving the S. See that kind of detail going across the middle of the S? And the way the cape comes out of that suit, flows over the shoulders nice and tight and flush. Pretty much flawless. You naughty people, Hot Toys. Anyway, I thought I'd bring Christopher Reeve into the mix to finish up the video. Makes for a pretty powerful display right there. I was going to say sick, but that doesn't quite do this justice, does it? Justice is the right word to use. Batman isn't far away. There's Christopher Reeve I will tell you that posability on Christopher Reeve Superman smashes these two on either side. He is capable of doing much more than these other two guys, the Henry Cavill figures. And I can prove that to you in the showcase video for this guy. Go to the channel, go to the playlists, go to the Superman playlist, check out the showcase videos I've done on Christopher Reeve. See what he's capable of, because he could do quite a lot. Got him flying up there in space, swooping around. Really, really is a gift that keeps on giving. Incredible head sculpt, brilliant cape with a wire in it. Perfect suit. Really good proportions. Really like the boots. Still a fantastic figure. Right, guys, I hope I've thought of everything that you'd want to know. If I haven't, let me know in the comments. Just let me know your thoughts in general. Get involved. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see. And keep an eye out, because I will be getting the Batman as soon as he comes out. I am very much looking forward to having those two together. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon.